The next fragrance on the TikTok hype train is Khadlaj Island Dreams, which is their inspiration of Louis Vuitton's Symphony. So if you want to spend $40 on a one-to-one copy of a $600 fragrance, you can get Khadlaj Island Dreams, or at least that's what I've been told. So I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and I've worn it a good bit. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on whether this fragrance is any good, and is this really a one-to-one clone of a $600 fragrance. So a quick look at the presentation. Here's the box and the bottle. We do have a pressurized atomizer here. So what does Island Dreams smell like? All right, so when I spray Island Dreams on, I get a blast of sharp grapefruit, a lot of musk, and there's almost like a lime note, or more like a lime peel note that kind of lingers in the background. All right, if we contrast that to the opening of Symphony, Symphony to me has a little bit more of like a candied sweetness to it, along with bergamot and grapefruit. So to my nose, it is definitely not a one-to-one in the opening. It just seems like a little bit better quality in the opening. It's just not as sharp and abrasive of a grapefruit note like I get with Island Dreams. All right, so let's talk about the dry downs and what kind of like the overall vibe of the fragrance is. So Island Dreams seems to be very linear to me. Granted, the citrus in the opening dies down just a bit, but what's left to me is a very heavy, musky, and ambroxan scent. It's a very clean and soapy fragrance, and at times, and it does have a lot of similarities to Symphony. I would say that overall the fragrance is around 80 to 85% accurate if I'm going for an exact one-to-one match here. So to me, Symphony is less linear, and it kind of goes through different phases that I just don't really get out of Island Dreams. Both fragrances are fairly simple in design. There's just not a whole lot going on with them, but definitely Symphony is a little bit more complex than Island Dreams. I would say that both fragrances are unisex, and I would say that Island Dreams is a touch more on the feminine side than Symphony. So it might be coming off that I don't think Island Dreams is a good fragrance, or that it's a bad fragrance. That's not true at all. Khadlaj Island Dreams is a good fragrance. It smells very nice. It has a very nice, sharp grapefruit note in the opening. It's very clean, simple, soapy. This is a very refreshing summer fragrance. I really like the way this stuff smells. At the $40 price point, I have no problem at all with this fragrance, except for it being a one-to-one dupe of Symphony, which to my nose, it just does not even remotely come close to being a one-to-one here. So if you're looking for a one-to-one for Symphony, personally, I could not recommend this fragrance if that's what you're looking for. However, if you want something that has that DNA, kind of has that backbone, and you want to get somewhat close to Symphony for an affordable price, then I would recommend Khadlaj Island Dreams. Or if you're just looking for a nice budget fragrance that's clean and soapy and has a very bright citrus grapefruit opening, again, would recommend Khadlaj Island Dreams. As far as performance goes, for a freshie, both of these fragrances are amazing. I get about 8 hours of longevity out of Island Dreams, and I get over 8 hours out of Symphony. As far as projection, I get a couple of hours of really good projection out of Island Dreams, and very similar to that with Symphony. So while it's not a one-to-one, it definitely has that Symphony DNA, or that kind of backbone or structure of what Symphony smells like. It's just missing a few pieces.